Hi and welcome. I'm Dennis from manoflegacy.com, and today I want to talk about nice guy dating disasters. I was discussing this. I've been working on this, putting some thoughts together, and then this morning I had somebody call me, and they even hit on one of these topics that they did wrong. So, first and foremost, the nice guy dating disasters. The first mistake is there's a scarcity mindset. Oh, I'm going to die alone. I've got to have a woman, blah, 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 blah. I need a relationship. What you need is to work on the relationship with yourself. Level up, be a grounded, calm, integrated, masculine man. You'd be amazed what that'll do for your life, okay? So, because of the scarcity mindset, you overlook red flags. For example, a single mom with multiple baby daddies, somebody who's got other issues or you don't line up with. And when there's a nice guy dating disaster, you will hear them say things like, she's so amazing. They overlook all the red flags, and they just go on because it's the first person to touch them in a long time. Their marriage was sexless long before it ended. And a lot of times these nice guys will want to save the single mother. They'll give her money when she's short on her bills. All sorts of stuff like that way too early in the relationship that they shouldn't be doing because they want to be the hero. The other thing that nice guys do, it's a huge problem, is they rush through everything. Okay, they rush into an exclusive relationship. They unintentionally love bomb, and a lot of the traits of the nice guy, people pleasing, not wanting to rock the boat, deferring to her. What they don't understand is that can seem attractive to a woman for a month or two until the ick factor comes on and they realize you're trying to get something from her all the time, and then it becomes a big turnoff. So they end up getting burned in a lot of relationships, and then they get a little bitter because they haven't really worked on themselves. So they rush through things, and we see this very often. Helping her buy a car, we talked about that earlier, with the money aspect. Moving in together too soon, getting married too soon, because you're coming from a place of need and lack and not abundance. You should be dating 2 to 3 years, closer to 3 than anything, before you have her move in with you. You should be dating, in my opinion, no less than 4 years before you get married, because then you see her through a full cycle of the year and then some. And again, with the dating, you don't introduce her to your kids. My standard guidelines are you don't date exclusively for 6 months, and you don't introduce her to your kids until you have been dating exclusively for 6 months. So you should know her for a year. Moms and dads are equally bad about this, introducing and mixing the families, and then they're heartbroken because not only are they without the woman they loved, their child is now without the sister or brother, which they were not, but they created that dynamic because they rushed into things. And again, don't rush into being a stepdad, guys. Okay? Proceed very cautiously. All right? If you ever hear the phrase, you're not the father when you're trying to address a discipline issue, be very aware you're never going to be in a good position in that relationship, especially if she's not disciplining her kids. Okay? So the biggest mistake in dating disaster is thinking you need a relationship with a woman to have an amazing life. Men, there's one thing you need to have a great life. A relationship, good relationships with other men and yourself. You don't need a woman. Now, the right one can make your life even better. The wrong one will destroy you. And I'm here to tell you that Harvard's done that study that's been going on for 80 years about happiness. And the number one key to happiness is relationships. And we're not talking romantic, it's having good friends in your life. So if you can't fill up a minivan with guys that you can have deep conversations with and talk to about your problems or their problems, that's where you need to invest your time. When guys get divorced that I work with, one of the things I teach them to do is to create an amazing life for themselves. I'm talking just an awesome life. And then when they're living that life, if a woman comes into their orbit they're interested in, great. But they don't need them. They're not being a nice guy, and they're not trying to get sex, trying to get love. You give love from an overflowing heart. Now, down below is my contact information. If you're struggling in your relationship, whether it's with yourself or with a significant other, and you want somebody to talk to, there's a link to the form. Fill it out. Let's talk. But the reality is, the biggest mistake men make, especially post-divorce, is rushing into another relationship. I would tell you avoid dating for a while and then avoid relationships. You can have a friends with benefits situation, but you don't necessarily need a relationship, and you don't need to have it be exclusive right away. Remember, it's not high school. 6 months non-exclusive, 6 months exclusive. Don't rush into marriage. Don't rush into engagement. It's not going to serve you well. Create an amazing life for yourself, brothers, and have a great day.